Mobil One Field, home of the defending national champion, the High Point University Panthers. As college football is back to kick off week 1, ladies and gentlemen. What a great week 0 it was. And we got a good matchup for you tonight between the 0-1 Ohio State Buckeyes and the defending national champs, the High Point University Panthers. For the Panthers, this is their first game of the season. For the Ohio State Buckeyes, they played in week 0, got blown out by Toledo 45-6. So they were essentially kind of in a must-win situation in that game heading into this one. Unfortunately for them, they lost, and it's not going to be an easy contest tonight. It is banner night for HPU, and HPU didn't score under 40 points at all last season, so it's going to be a contest for these Buckeyes here tonight. And before we kick things off, let's just remind you, so this is the first game of week 1. The defending national champ gets to pick a team to play to open up week 1. They could also play them in week 0 if they want. HPU decided not to play in week 0. They decided to wait until week 1, so they chose the Buckeyes. So the rest of the Tidal Coast Conference will not play until Thursday. This is the only Tidal Coast Conference team, the HPU Panthers, that will play tonight. So the rest of them play on Thursday. Tomorrow starts Maction Wednesday, the first game of Maction Wednesday, and right here on FoxTube TV, we'll have essentially a rivalry game for you. The Eastern Michigan University and Central Michigan University, the national championship runner-up to the Panthers here. Those two will go head-to-head to open their season tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, or, of course, whenever you get the notification, right here on FoxTube TV. But without further ado, let's kick this one away. So, HPU wearing their ice-out uniforms, forcing Ohio State to wear their alternatives. And we are underway. Panthers, Buckeyes, right here on FoxTube TV. And of course, ice out means ice out, meaning you can barely see the numbers on those uniforms. As Xavier Jarvis, there's Travis Williams, the freshman tight end. He's replacing Maverick Ross, who was a big-time key player in that national championship run last season, but we get a look at Xavier Jarvis and Tyson for the first time this season after this play. Xavier Jarvis, he was a sophomore last year, same with Tyson. Now he's a junior, so Marlowe in for the first play of the game. Jarvis is adding some modifications to his helmet real quick. And here's Marlowe's first pass, and it's of 3. And that is good enough to bring up 2nd and 7. Now here's Xavier, so he got his helmet figured out there. Here's Jarvis. First pass of the 2026 season. It's complete. Is that the freshman tight end? It is. Banner night, iced out uniforms, 2 completed passes for Xavier. Up the middle, Tyson gets the block, dodging tackles, and finally down at the 11. And unlike last year, the Panthers actually have the name of their school and their nickname in the end zones. Jarvis over the middle, short pass, touchdown, HPU. And just like that, they go right down the field. Noah Brown, the wide receiver, makes the reception. Took him an extra minute, but he got it in for the touchdown. And right out of the locker room, the Panthers come out and score. On banner night, extra point up and good. 5 plays, 76 yards, 59 seconds it took. And now we'll get a look at Julian Sayin, who, like we said, underperformed in that Week 0 game against Toledo. The Buckeyes turned the ball over a lot during that game. Okay, so we first and down and 10 at their own 23 after the return. Here's Sayin gonna hand it off, and he's stopped right away for a loss of 2. And that's got a gain of 6 there, so 3rd down and 6 coming up. Sayin intercepted. Intercepted. Is it gonna be a pick 6? It is. Touchdown Panthers. 35 yards for Winger. And the Buckeyes find themselves in trouble. Down 2 scores already. HPU is not a team you want to go down 2 scores to. Remember, this team didn't score under 40 points at all last season. That means they've scored at least 40 points in all their games last season. We still don't know what will happen if they do. But they're on the right track to get to at least 40 this season, or this game so far. 2 scores will get you 28. 4 scores will get you 42. So it would be over 40 points again. Here's Sayin. He fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And the Panthers are having a banner night like no other. Jarvis to Tyson, trying to spin out of the tackle. He might have lost, yeah, he lost 2 yards there, so. Not as great start on the reception side, but he did have a nice run there. Running the ball so far. He's gonna run there, and then unfortunately only get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 12. More than likely Jarvis going to the air here. Looking, end zone, freshman tight end, it's broken up. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 12.
Here we go.
Jarvis, 4th and 12. He's got it, and it's a touchdown. Make it 20-0. Extra point up and good. Makes it 21-0. 4 plays, 12 yards, 33 seconds. The Buckeyes got to start doing something. There's the return out to his own 18. Brings up, it'll be 1st down and 10. Yeah, keep in mind, if the Buckeyes lose this game, they will be 1 game away from being eliminated from playoff contention. So you don't want to be 1 game away from being eliminated from the playoffs 2 games into the season. So you gotta figure out what's going on. They got some hard opponents coming up. I mean, obviously the first 2 weeks of the season were probably easy for them. Except for HPU here. Toledo was probably an easy school to beat. They clearly did not look that way in that contest on Friday in Week 0, but that's swatted away and incomplete. But, they do got Northwestern next week. So maybe they'll be able to get back on the right track if they drop this one. But keep in mind, you lose to Northwestern, 3 games into the season, you're out of the playoffs. So, gotta figure it out. There's Jarvis and the Panthers offense. Get it out to Williams, but he dropped it. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. That's caught. First down and more. It's going to be a touchdown. No. Got him down to the 1. Nice catch and run there. Hand it off. Tyson, touchdown. And it's 28-0. Still plenty of time to go in the game. 6:35 in the first, but they're already down 28-0. You got to start figuring things out. But they, like we said, they do have their hard matchups this season. This is one of them. They're going to play the University of Ohio from the MAC. Now you might ask, how are they hard? Well, they beat them last year. The Bobcats beat the Buckeyes last year in Week 5, and they get a chance to do it again this year, as that's incomplete. So they got the Bobcats, they got Michigan in the final week, which is Week 10. They got, this school, and then, obviously, no matter how hard they end up being to play, I mean, your conference is going to be rough in general. So you got to take advantage, of some of these games. Coming out of the locker room, going down 28-0, probably not the start you want. But meanwhile, this time they finally get a first down, so something finally goes right for the Buckeyes here. Sayin got rid of it in time. It's good enough for a gain of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. Fires short pass. It's caught. 3rd down and 4, so another gain of 3. And the Panthers are looking like they could drive the field any drive. Send it one downfield, and it's incomplete. They could drive the field any drive. So realistically, you probably don't want to punt here, but you have to. Still early in the game. There's a chance, you might be able to catch a break. Panthers might mess up a couple times, and you might be able to get a couple of touchdowns to get back into this game. But we'll see. Here's Jarvis and his offense. Fires to Tyson. He's going to get a bunch of yards there. And the first down. 116 yards, 2 touchdowns for Xavier Jarvis so far out of the locker room. These uniforms are so cool. And when it was announced that they were going to wear these tonight, it made us excited, man. Not every day do you see a team opt to wear the lighter color at home. But the Panthers did tonight. New uniforms, banner night. Off to a great start here at HPU. Up the middle, Tyson, does he get it? 4th and inches, they say. I imagine they're going to go for this. Yes, they are. They're going to keep their offense out there on the field. Fun fact, their former tight end, now alumni, Maverick Ross, is in attendance at tonight's game. So he's watching his team cook early. I think the Panthers are trying to waste time here. They're already up 4 scores. They can take it slow. That's exactly what they're doing. Imagine they're probably going to run this down to 4 minutes even before they snap the ball. Normally this team doesn't show mercy to its opponents, but being the first quarter, I could understand. All right, you know what, guys? It's the first quarter. We're probably going to demolish them anyway, but let's save that for, third, fourth quarter. Handed off. Tyson fighting for those extra yards. He got 3 of them, so it's 3rd and 7. Right over the middle there. It's caught for the first down. Now, you might notice, how come this game's going a lot slower than the Week 0 games? That's because there's no accelerated clock on, so it's a more realistic experience. For the first couple games, we didn't want the accelerated clock on. That's dropped and incomplete. Here's Tyson up the middle. Brings up 3rd and 6. That brings up 4th and 6. I imagine the field goal kicker is going to trot out onto the field. No, they're going to stay out there and go for this. Got it off. It's intercepted, though. Xavier Jarvis has thrown a pick, and the Buckeyes take over 1st and 10 at their own 8. Not a big deal. You're up 4 scores, right? Obviously, you don't want to make it a habit, but probably not a big deal in that case. Coach will look at that and kind of say it is what it is. But you don't want to make a habit of those and let the Buckeyes back into the game either. Sayin takes the snap and sacked. That was Saturday with the sack. And you can see the TCC, which stands for Title Coast Conference logo. That has been updated during the offseason too. Oh, that's intercepted going back the other way. That was another, like we said, another thing that got updated during the offseason. Shortly after the Panthers won the national championship, they updated the whole Title Coast Conference. 4 teams were added, and all but the 4 new teams have the Title Coast Conference logo on their jerseys and fields. And they have their school name and nickname in their end zones. The 4 new teams are Alaska, Alaska State, Idaho, and Idaho State. Oh, there's also there's a couple more new teams too. Sierra Ridge, which is a fictional college, and Cretan, which is more of a basketball volleyball school. But yeah, I forgot, there's 6 new teams in the Title Coast Conference. Chicago has changed their nickname from the Rattlers to the Renegades and updated their logo. So they stick around, but just an updated nickname and logo. Tyson pushing off of the defenders there. Running up the middle, Jarvis, touchdown. So 35 points, or 5 touchdowns scored. 4 plays, 12 yards, 72 seconds. 5 touchdowns scored by the Panthers in the opening quarter. Keep in mind, they're already up 35-0. And we're not even to halftime yet. There's Tate to return this. Attempts to hurdle. And a couple of those were off of points off of turnovers. The pick 6 and then the fumble. Obviously, it wasn't a scoop and score, but it did set them up to score and wrapped up 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. These Panthers are just... These guys are really good. You almost would think that they were an SEC or Big Ten school. That's how good they are. But they're not. They're a TCC school. And fun fact, after week 6, from now on, every season, this was just announced this week, the Tidal Coast Conference and Atlantic Coast Conference, or ACC, will collab and play each other in week 6 of the season. So Tidal Coast Conference teams will play ACC teams in week 6. And that's coming out of the bye week, unless if you're Alaska and Alaska State. Any school that doesn't have a state or university to match it, those guys have a bye week, week 5. So week 5 is only for schools like Michigan State to play. But hey, one quarter gone here in this week 1 matchup between the Buckeyes and Panthers. Don't go anywhere. You're watching college football here on Fox Tube TV. 35-0 Panthers lead it. Well, Thursday night for the first Tidal Coast Conference Thursday. It's going to be a good matchup between Michigan Tech and Saginaw Valley. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Fox Tube TV. That will be Thursday night. Threw that under pressure, and that's incomplete. We remember the 84-77 ball game last season between HPU and Michigan Tech. That was right here in this very stadium before it had its name changed. This year, that game will be played at Tech. And then the low point, high point game in week 4, which again, low point, a fictional school. We just made it for laughs and stuff like that. But they're out of Charleston, South Carolina. Last year's game was played in Charleston. That game will be played here at this stadium this year. So the battle for the I-84 trophy is back. And it's right here at Mobil One Field. That, of course, being week 4. Just before those two teams go into the bye week in week 5. Sayin, looking for the end zone. It's intercepted. Second interception of the game. Hand it off. Tyson, look at that. The jukes for a gain of 9. 9 rushes for 58 yards so far for Tyson. He's a junior this year, so after this year, only one more year for Jarvis and Tyson. Tyson trying to get there, but his offensive line got in his way. It's 3rd down and 1. He got there this time and got extra yards. There's a 1-second difference between the game clock and play clock. Oh, that was caught. What a play there. I thought for sure that was going to be intercepted, but that was an insane play. 2nd and inches. Here's Jarvis rolling out of the pocket. Jarvis to the edge, breaking the tackle and getting the 1st down. Fires over the middle. 2nd and 2. Brings up 3rd down and 2 after he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And Caden Curry down with an injury. 7:32 to play in the half. Panthers face a 4th and 2. What will they do? They're going to stay out there and go for this. And he had to just get rid of it. Hit as he threw it.
It's a turnover on downs.
Incomplete. And that's a turnover on downs. So now from the opponent 49, it's staying in the Buckeyes offense. Got him on the comeback route. Oh, the ball came out. But it was picked up by Ohio State, an Ohio State player. And possession will stay with the Buckeyes. Sayin hit as he threw it incomplete. Looking like he was trying to go for the end zone there. Sayin, short pass, hit as he threw it. First down and more. And look at that, the ball came out after the contact, but of course he was already down.
And that's a first down for the offense.
Oh, miscommunication there. I don't think the halfback actually expected him to hand it off to him. So it'll be 2nd and 14. This time he's going to make up for the play. Be 3rd and 7. That's a little more manageable. So a gain of 7 on that. Going to Peoples, and he's down. So it'll be a 26-yard attempt. Jake Fielding is going to try. Oh, they're going to fake it. They're going to fake it. He's down. And that's a turnover on downs. Going for Williams. That's the freshman tight end for the first down. Four minutes gone in this second quarter. 2nd and 12. Third down and 3. That's Williams, the freshman tight end again with the catch. These jerseys just look cool on these guys. And he's going to get sacked. Loss of 10. It will be 4th and 13. Oh, they're going to go for this. And he didn't get there.
Tackle is made at the 34. Offense is stopped. Will be a turnover on down.
Saying, got it off. It is broken up in the end zone, but there's going to be a penalty.
Pass interference. Defense.
So that moves it to the opponent 19. Saying, trying to take off. And he gets wrapped up. Looking for Peoples there. Brings up 3rd and 7. Down 5 touchdowns. And underthrew him. Incomplete. This time it's going to be a 35-yard attempt, so there should be a chip shot. Oh, they're going to go. They're going to go for it again. He's hit as he threw it again. And it's another stop. So far, they've kept the Panthers out of the end zone since the first quarter. We'll have to see if they can keep doing it. The Panthers doing a good job keeping them out of the end zone. And I think the Panthers got them scared a little bit because that's 2 straight times where they've went for it instead of taking the easy points. And it's kind of understandable, right? Down 5 touchdowns. You want a touchdown, even if it means turning the ball over on downs, because that's going to help you cut into this lead more than a simple 35-yard kick will. Meanwhile, big play here, first down. That's going to move the Panthers into field goal range. Nice throw by Jarvis. Jarvis just trying to take it easy. His team's up 5 scores. No need to get ridiculous. Got it out. I believe that was the freshman tight end again that made the play. It was. Going for Williams. He dropped it. Williams, this is his hometown. Went to high school here in this town. Now he's playing for his college team. They gave him a great NIL deal and scholarship to come here. Going right back to him. Back-to-back plays. And he hasn't found the end zone yet, but that freshman will. We have a feeling he will find the end zone soon in this game. There it is! Welcome to college football, Williams. You have your first collegiate touchdown. Travis Williams. Nice play there, and hanging on to it too. One hand. Hung on to that with one hand after making the catch. 9 plays, 84 yards, a minute and 41 seconds to score. Nice play. That was 3 straight plays to the freshman tight end, and he hauled it in for the touchdown. Here's Tate on the Buckeyes to return it. Julian Sayin struggling just like he did last week in week 0. Can he finally get something going for the Buckeyes and get a touchdown for them? Sayin fires. It's a first down. Jeremiah Smith. They targeted him a couple times last week, but he only made 1 play. He was covered really well by the Rockets. That's his first play this game. Second and 6, so just a short pass there. There's a hurdle, and he fumbled the ball. And it looks like it was recovered by Ohio State. They're going to take a timeout. So the ball was fumbled, but recovered by the Buckeyes. Jeremiah Smith, it's a Buckeyes touchdown. And finally, something to go the Buckeyes' way. They just take the extra point. 4 plays, 79 yards, 38 seconds. 2:06 left in the quarter. Finally, the Buckeyes get to kick this one away. 42-7. Turns it to his own 19.
And the offense will take over. 1st and 10.
Diving for the first down. Did he get it? That's the 2-minute warning. They're going to give it to him. Yes, he got the first down. Jarvis. Handed off to Tyson. Coming up at the time gap, Treasure's halftime report. We will have Scott Hansen in Orlando discuss analysis of the first half and have highlights for you. 4th down and 4. Short pass will do it.
Offense facing 4th down.
They're going to stay out there. There it is. First down. And realistically, the Panthers got nothing to lose there. They could have punted the ball and forced Ohio State to start on their own side of the field, but they opt to go for it and keep possession of the ball, more than likely to run the timeout in the first half. And guess what? This is... Let's see, there was 9 during the regular season. They had the conference championship, that's 10. Second round. This is their 14th straight game scoring over 40 points for the Panthers. And keep in mind, they scored that before the Buckeyes scored their first touchdown, and it was a heave to the end zone. There's Williams again. 10 catches for 95 yards. And a touchdown. That's a drop. I don't expect HPU to go for the field goal here. I think they're just gonna try to run this clock out. Incomplete. Brings up 4th and 10.
And falls incomplete. Now, 4th down.
Worst that's going to happen is they're just going to turn it over on downs before half. There's a first down. And more than likely, they're just going to let the first half expire. So 42-7 is what it's going to be at the half. Yeah, they're going to do that. So 42-7 at the half. Scott, go ahead and take it away. We'll see you back here at Mobil One Field in a few. All right, thank you, Scott. We welcome everybody back to Mobil One Field here in High Point, North Carolina, for quarter number 3. Buckeyes finally got a touchdown. They get the second half kickoff here, and away we go as here's Tate to return it. Turns it to his own 24. That is where Julian Sayin will go to work. Finally, found Jeremiah Smith in the end zone after allowing 5 straight touchdowns by the Panthers. The Buckeyes did. Now it's 3rd and 8. And that's a first down.
Third down pass complete to the back. He's brought down at the 34. Good enough for a first down. Timeout, Ohio State.
And looks like the Buckeyes called a timeout there. They didn't really like the plays that were being called. Here's Sayin. Oh, the ball came out, and it's picked up by HPU. And the Panther defense recovers another fumble from the Ohio State offense. Jarvis over the middle. It's caught. Jet Moore, 10 catches, 101 yards. There's Tyson fighting for those extra yards. He got it. Obviously, this close to the end zone, you don't want to. Here's Tyson up the middle. First down and a touchdown. Nope, he didn't get in. He did not get in. Correction, no touchdown. But still a really nice run there. Here's the fullback. He couldn't get there either. And still can't get into the end zone. Here's Jarvis and the offense. What will they cook up this time? It's a quarterback sneak for the touchdown. Six plays, 30 yards, 63 seconds it took. And now here's the Ohio State offense, or special teams to return. And now the offense comes onto the field. They'll start from their own 26. Turnover last time. Second and 12. 2 minutes into the third quarter of play. And decides to get rid of that one. He didn't like where some of those defenders were, so he opted to throw it away instead. That's kind of smart. Live to play another down. Obviously, he's turned the ball over a couple times here tonight. Unfortunately, this drive's in a stall out for him, but that was very responsible of Julian Sayin to recognize that. Like, look, I'd rather just live to play another down. Unfortunately, it stalled out for him, but that's all right. So HPU already in excellent starting position here. And they're already across midfield. That's at 2nd and 4. 350 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception for Xavier Jarvis tonight. He threw it back in quarter number 1. Panthers team is moving the ball. I like these short passes. They're not throwing anything crazy down the field. They're just throwing short passes. And then if something gets open, then they attempt something downfield. Here's a first down and a touchdown for the Panthers. The blowout is not over yet. 56-7. So realistically, until we reach the fourth quarter, there is a chance with 16 minutes, 39 seconds total left in regulation for the Buckeyes to start having stuff go their way. The problem is, now you're in the second half, so now it's crunch time. You got to start your comeback now to have a chance. Incomplete. 3rd down and 5. Third down and 5. Here's Sayin and his offense. He's going to switch the jet sweep to try to go up the middle and not going to get there. And it's another punt for the Buckeyes. Excellent starting field position for the Panthers this time too. Already past midfield. Jarvis over the middle. 7 yards on that catch. Brings up 2nd and 3 with under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Over the middle again for the first down. That's the freshman tight end, Williams. Jarvis looking, he gets it off. Oh, did he drop it? He did. So that one's incomplete. Got to get that one out quick. He did. He got it to Williams. Gain of 7. 3rd down and 3. Had to get that one out quick too. That one was incomplete. He was hit as he threw it. So now it brings up 4th down and 3. They're going to stay out there and go for it. Not once has the Panthers gone for a field goal tonight. And they convert on 4th down again. They are 1 yard shy of the red zone. They're moving this ball. Here's Tyson. 3rd down and 11. Got caught on one of his teammates there. Now Jarvis looking for Buchamp. He's got him in the first down and more. Nice play there. And it moves the chains. Tyson looking, got it to the 5. 2nd and goal. Tyson, switcheroo, not gonna work, but he gets it to the 3. Here's the fullback. He scored once tonight, but not going to get in that time.
No gain on the play. Brings up 4th and goal.
Jarvis is going to have to get this ball out quick because the pressure is going to come. Actually, it's a touchdown. That pressure didn't. I thought they would pressure him a lot more there, but they didn't. It is now 63-7. It was a 13-play drive that time. Most of it was just those short passes and runs. Oh, did he fumble it? He did, but they recovered it. So it's still Buckeye football. Just like the Rockets, the Panthers are not cutting them slack either. That's a nice first down right there. Nice catch and run for the first down. Able to stay on his feet there.
And first down for the offense.
Second down and 8 now. He's wrapped up after a gain of 2. Safe to say Banner Night will not be spoiled for HPU. They've got this in the bag. Saying, and gonna get sacked. Fair catch signaled. It's going to be first down and 10 at the 43-yard line for HPU. Handoff. Oh, look at Tyson switching it up there. Third down and 4 now. So I do got to credit the Buckeyes for one thing, though. While they were getting blown out and shut out most of the game, in their first 2 games of the season, they will not be shut out. They have scored at least once in both of their games, and it's been a touchdown each and every time, even though they only had 6 points on the board last week against Toledo. They've scored a touchdown in each of their games this season. The problem is the offense is just not clicking the way it should. And the offensive line not helping Julian Sayin either. So for now, for Ohio State, it's win out. If they lose another one and get eliminated from playoffs, they can still earn a chance to play in a bowl game. You have to have at least 5 wins to be eligible for those. This time they go for a bigger play there, and that's a first down for the Panthers. So like we mentioned earlier, Alaska State, Idaho, and Idaho State are the only Tidal Coast Conference teams that do not have the logo on their field or jerseys. But they are a part of the conference. This is the second season of play for the Tidal Coast Conference, as that one's batted down. And we got 6 new teams this season. Cretan, Alaska, Alaska State, Idaho, Idaho State, and Sierra Ridge. Which again, Sierra Ridge is a fictional school, just like Low Point is. And they got the first down. Second and goal. Sierra Ridge located in California. So we will see these teams, a couple of the Title Coast Conference teams travel out there. HPU will be one of them. Week 7. They will travel to Sierra Ridge in California. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. So after 3, it's 63-7. HPU, the home team, on banner night. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this. You're watching college football on Fox Tube TV. Welcome back to college football on Fox Tube TV. The home team, High Point University. Banner night for them. And they're having a banner night to remember. There's the touchdown. 3 seconds into the fourth quarter. The extra point up and good to make it 70-7. 13 plays, 57 yards, 2 minutes, 58 seconds. And now if you're HPU, I'd say I would just run the clock out and take the dub. Julian Sayin on the offense. Struggled here all night, just like they did against Toledo. They traveled to Toledo, so right now Ohio State is going to be 0-2 on the road. Road games not looking promising for the Buckeyes this season. And Miller Jr. for HPU injured on that play, but it's a first down for the Buckeyes. Wrapped up, it'll be second down and 11. And he's going down for a sack. Loss of 11 brings up third. Well, from where they started, loss of 11. Brings up 3rd and 21. 3rd down and long here. They're going to run it. Turns a potential loss into a gain of 7 yards, but not going to be enough, and that's going to force a punt. There's the carry for a gain of 7. Just a reminder, Title Coast Conference Thursday, the first one of the season. Michigan Tech takes on Saginaw Valley. And it will be at Michigan Tech, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday night, right here on Fox Tube TV. We cannot wait for that, just like we couldn't wait for this matchup. This matchup was decided a few days after the national championship, and we have had it circled on our calendar. We knew this was going to be a good matchup. And the Panthers look phenomenal. Oh, that's going to be his second interception of the game. There's the return. And he gets it to midfield. So Julian Sayin and the offense will take over. So how about only 2 interceptions so far for Xavier Jarvis this game? He won the starting job after he played in that Michigan Tech game last season. He's been the starter ever since. And that was a good decision made by the coach. because that kid has looked phenomenal and is about to get his first Week 1 W as a starter. Still got over 7 minutes to play in this contest. Couple pair of first downs for the Buckeyes there. How about that? Something clicking for them. Down the field, incomplete. 7.5 to go, roughly. Ladies and gentlemen, later tonight, right here on Fox Tube TV, it will be super late model racing from Stafford Motor Speedway. Later tonight here on Fox Tube TV, tries to hurdle, gets the first down. Urbane victorious in the first 2 races of the season. Those races being at Eastern Hills and IRP. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Ball came out after he made contact with the ground. So on 2nd and 4, here's saying. And just going to throw that one away, but that's going to be a penalty. He didn't throw it where there was a receiver in the area. So that's actually going to come back to bite Ohio State. I understand why he did it, right? I mean, can't really see anybody that looks potentially open, and you're already getting blown out by 63. There's no need to add insult to injury and risk giving them a 70-point advantage, so, I mean, I understand it. Try to make it a 60-point game. They're going to flip it. He tried to get it to him. Like, that's the 3rd time they've tried that this game, and each time they tried it, it stalled out. Now, that one looked a little better than their last 2 attempts at it, but regardless, 0 for 3 at that in this game. 15 catches for 135 yards. What a debut it was for Travis Williams. That kid should be happy. He got a touchdown, too, tonight. Six minutes to go. Tyson up the middle. That's a first down. Well, as we mentioned, Panthers going to get off to a excellent start. The Panthers will travel to Idaho State next week to take on Idaho State. They're going to go into their 1-0. HPU was good on both the road and at home last season, undefeated in both. They finished the regular season with a 9-0 record, then beat Saginaw Valley in the Tidal Coast Conference Championship game, got to 10-0, and then finished 13-0 after going all the way to the national championship and beating Central Michigan. We saw some underdogs make it to the national championship. Not that, like, underdogs meaning teams you probably wouldn't see make it IRL. The first national championship on College Football 25 was between Louisville and San Jose State. Last year's between HPU and Central Michigan. And he's going to take an intentional grounding penalty.
Intentional grounding offense.
So they're just going to give the ball to Ohio State. And at that point, you can do that because they're on their own side of the field. That's pretty much equivalent to a kickoff punt return. Got to get that one out quickly. Did, right as the defender was approaching. Under 4 minutes to play. Oh, the ball came out. Luckily, an Ohio State player was there. As Harvey's hurt on the play, but an Ohio State player was there to get the ball back. It was actually the same player that lost it. It got lateraled back to an offensive lineman. Then he fumbled the ball and then recovered it. Incomplete. Incomplete again. Buckeye fans, for the second game in a row, are going to be disappointed. As so far, 2 straight poor performances out of Ohio State. They performed poorly at Toledo last week, performed poorly at High Point this week. And yes, even though it's week 0, last week's counts. That's why the Buckeyes are 0-1 right now, and the HPU Panthers are at 0-0. Panthers didn't play week 0, Buckeyes did. Week 0 counts. It's not like preseason. It kind of is, but it counts. And Ohio State doesn't have a bye week until week 4. All of the teams that participated in week 0 will have 2 bye weeks, while everyone else will only have 1. And that's because we want to keep things fair, so we want to make sure everyone finishes the season playing a total of 9 games.
Running back, the ball carrier. Loses 2. Second down coming up. Here we go, set.
Second down and 11, got that out in time. Third down and 11, though. So the best you could do in the regular season would be 9-0, again, like the Panthers did last season. And the worst you could do is 0-9. As the Buckeyes going to get the ball back here just before the 2-minute warning. 4 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. And let's talk about the Buckeyes real quick. So they started last season 3-0. Their first 3 games were perfect. They finished the regular season 0-6 after that and finished 3-6. They still got into a bowl game because there wasn't enough 5-win teams. And then there wasn't enough 4-win teams, so there had to be a 3-win team, which was the Buckeyes that got in. And then they lost that game and finished with an overall record of 3-7. They are 0-2 to start 2026. And there's a chance, that could change. They could finish the season 7-2 and go to the playoffs. But as of right now, they are 0-2. And they got to be careful over these last 7 games this season for them. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. So 1.5 minutes to go. Panthers get the ball back. And you can see that HPU not worried about scoring any more points. They're just worried about getting out of here with the win. So that's why they've been running the ball, and then that's why they punted for the first time last time out. Fun fact, that was the first punt, because the drive before that, Jarvis intentionally committed an intentional grounding penalty to just turn the ball over on downs. 3rd and 14. And now in order to knee the clock out, Buckeyes going to call a timeout here. Looked like Panthers were going to call a timeout too. So they can kneel the clock out. That's what they're going to do, go into victory formation. What a start to the season for the HPU Panthers. 70-7 the final. And the Buckeyes are in trouble for their last 7 games this season. As they lose in week 0 to Toledo on the road, and then they lose in week 1 on the road to the HPU Panthers. A lot of scoring in this game for the Panthers. And it's crazy because if Sayin didn't connect with Jeremiah Smith in the end zone in the second quarter, that would have said 70-0. So that was a crazy game. Hey folks, we're just getting started. Tomorrow night, Maction Wednesday, Eastern Michigan versus Central Michigan, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Fox Tube TV. And then Thursday, the first Tidal Coast Conference Thursday of the season, Michigan Tech takes on Saginaw Valley, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday night right here on Fox Tube TV. But with that in mind, for our entire crew, we say so long from Mobil One Field. The Panthers win it at home, 70